Ever wonder why potential customers throw curveballs your way and how you can hit them out of the park? Welcome to the world of sales objections, those tough questions and concerns that crop up during the sales process. They're a fact of life for sales professionals, yet many find them challenging to handle. Understanding and managing sales objections is a crucial part of your sales toolkit. It's all about striking a balance between knowing your product inside out and understanding your customer's perspective. When a prospect raises an objection, it's not a stop sign. It's an invitation to engage, to communicate more effectively. The secret lies in transforming these objections, these roadblocks, into opportunities. This may sound intimidating, but it's quite achievable. It's about turning no into no. Know more about your customer, their needs, their concerns. Stick around and you'll discover how to turn these objections into opportunities. So what are some common objections you might have encountered in your sales career? Well, first off, there's the classic price objection. Your prospect might say your product or service is too expensive. This is a common response when the perceived value doesn't match the asking price. Let's consider a scenario where you're selling high-end watches. A customer might balk at the price tag, not considering the craftsmanship, longevity, and prestige associated with owning such a piece. Next up is the need objection. This is when your prospect doesn't see the necessity for your product or service. For example, you're selling an advanced fitness tracker. Your prospect might say, "I already have a regular watch. I don't need all these extra features." This objection often arises when the benefits of the product or service aren't clearly communicated. Then there's the urgency objection. The prospect acknowledges the value of your offer but doesn't see the need to act right now. Think of a situation where you're selling an annual subscription to a music streaming service. The prospect might say, "Sounds good, but I can stick with my free service for now." This is a common stall tactic, and it's often a sign that the prospect needs a stronger incentive to act immediately. Lastly, we have the trust objection. This is when the prospect is unsure about the credibility of your product, service, or even your company. In the world of online courses, for instance, prospects might say, "How do I know this course will deliver the results you're promising?" This type of objection typically arises when there's a lack of social proof or a strong reputation backing your offer. Remember, every objection is a question in disguise, seeking more information or reassurance. With understanding and strategic responses, you can turn these objections into opportunities and ultimately achieve your sales goals. Now let's dive into the first step in overcoming objections: listening. Listening is not just about hearing the words spoken by your customer, it's about understanding their concerns, their needs, and their reservations. It's about tuning into the emotions behind the words and demonstrating that you are there, fully present, and ready to help. When a customer voices an objection, resist the urge to jump in with a quick solution. Instead, take a moment. Let them express their thoughts completely. This shows respect for their viewpoint and builds trust. Empathy is another key component of active listening. Let your customer know that you understand their concerns. You can do this by paraphrasing what they've said or simply by expressing empathy with phrases like, "I can see why you might feel that way." Remember, your goal is to uncover the real issues behind the objections. So listen, empathize, and hold off on responding until you've fully understood their viewpoint. By truly listening, you can uncover the real issues behind the objections. Once you've listened, the next step is to understand. It's like peeling an onion, layer by layer, to reach the core. You need to dig deeper to understand the root cause of the objection, but how do you do that? Simple. By asking open-ended questions. These are questions that can't be answered with a simple yes or no. They encourage the customer to express their thoughts and feelings, giving you a clearer picture of their needs and concerns. For instance, instead of asking, "Do you like our product?" try, "What features of our product do you think could better meet your needs?" This way, you're not just seeking affirmation, you're inviting them to share their perspective. So the key here is not just to hear, but to truly understand. Remember, sales is a lot like solving a puzzle. You won't be able to find the right piece until you understand the bigger picture. Understanding your customer's perspective is the key to addressing their objections. Now that you've listened and understood, it's time to respond. The magic of sales doesn't lie in the pitch, but in the response. It's the moment where your understanding of the customer's needs and your knowledge of your product unite to form a compelling, tailored solution. But how do you craft a response that effectively addresses the customer's objection? Firstly, it's crucial to remain calm and respectful. Remember, an objection isn't a personal attack, but a call for more information or reassurance. Your response should be a dialogue, not a monologue. You're not here to overpower the customer with facts and figures, but to guide them towards a solution that addresses their concerns. Let's look at some examples. Suppose a customer says, "Your product is too expensive." A knee-jerk reaction might be to defend your pricing, but instead try to understand the value they're seeking. Your response could be, "I understand where you're coming from. Our product may seem pricier than others, but let me explain how its unique features offer you more value for your money." Or consider this, a customer might say, "I'm happy with my current product." Instead of highlighting why your product is superior, try to find out what they like about their current one. You could respond with, "That's great to hear. I'm curious, what do you particularly like about your current product?" This opens up a conversation where you can align your product's strengths with their preferences. Another common objection is, "I need to think about it." This usually means they're not convinced yet, so don't push for an immediate decision. Instead, respond with, "Absolutely, I understand it's a significant decision. Can I provide any additional information that would be useful in your consideration?" Remember, your response should always be about the customer, not about you or your product. It's about helping them see how your product can meet their needs or solve their problems. A thoughtful response can turn an objection into a stepping stone towards a successful sale. Let's recap what we've covered today. We delved into the world of common sales objections, shedding light on those hurdles that often stand between you and a successful deal. These objections might seem daunting at first, but remember, they're merely concerns or queries that need to be addressed. We then emphasize the significance of listening, a skill that is often neglected. It's paramount to truly hear your client's worries and apprehensions, to treat them as stepping stones rather than stumbling blocks. Understanding the next key point is the foundation of any effective response. Know your client's needs, fears, and aspirations. Your ability to empathize can turn the tide in your favor. Finally, we analyzed how to craft responses that not only address objections, but also steer the conversation towards a positive outcome. Practice these steps, refine them, and make them an integral part of your sales strategy. Remember, overcoming objections is not about winning an argument. It's about helping the customer make the best decision. Happy selling!